we want to know the yardstick we they use for arrive at the conclusions. The people who they arrest, they want engaged in subversion. That's the one. Still in relation to security, we don't see issue with Afuna ECOWAS. We don't see the chairman, the president from Nigeria don't take his stand, and Salon, a member of the ECOWAS state. We don't see other African countries that don't put statements on the position whether for attack Niger or not, as ECOWAS mandate or the time when they give them elapse. I want to know what's in a Salon position for participate with ECOWAS for attack Niger or not.
Thank you. I look for woman. Yeah. I want to see if any female want to ask a question.
Allow the man to hold the ask.
No. I want to make someone wake up. I said 3 questions at a time. I keep patients small, no?
So, so my name is Madonna. I'm coming from Hospital FM.
Yes, Madonna, go on.
And so how does it feel for you to be the youngest minister, I think, all across Africa? This is really revolutionary for Sierra Leone, considering we're known for so many bad things, the 10-year war and everything else. This is really amazing that you've been appointed. So how do you feel?
Thank you very much, Madonna. Thanks for that question, Lee. Yes, sir.
Mohammed as you said, at 11 p.m. tonight, the incident question will take place in 2 hours. This incident, the helicopter incident, caused a lot of polemics in this country. Why did it take the police so long for getting the information at the time when the country was nearly breaking over all what took place? Second question is for you, Minister of Information. If we talk of, you're talking about radical reforms and all that. You don't inform your corporate cabinet ministers that they want to change the world. The media is the weapon. So that's so that whenever we go to them for interviews, other stuff, they will tell everything apart from the usual specific conferences. Because one thing in development is that who got the information at times, but before ever we go, we want the information to be passed to the public. But your colleagues and many other people within our civil community they don't even want to talk to the press. So we talk of radical information that people say, now big advice to you for people as well, engage with the people that will be responsive to the press.
Thank you so much. We don't get the 3 questions there for now. We'll do another round. So we'll get the answer there, then we'll come back. So how can I arrive at the conclusion in a subversion? And I want to be in question, and I will take the question on the Salon position on ECOWAS because I've been already prepared for that question there. And then there's a question about how we feel, and then why it takes so long for the police as well, and basically media interactions across with the colleagues there.
Well, for answer the question, which are the articles used for arrest people for the subversion? 9 years. I think I say new serious of evidence not be only. So the evidence is not even possible for that. So that's clear. The evidence, new serious of evidence point by you. Yeah. So that's the answer to that question. Then the other question they ask me is why it takes so long. I don't know if it takes so long, but the reason why it takes such a time to all come out with these explanations is because we wanted to investigate thoroughly. And now as I'm talking to you, we have every document I've mentioned here. I have a copy of the documents. I have their certified, their certificates certified by the South African Civil Aviation Authority. I have the flight routes of their helicopter. I have the landing permit. I have everything that they needed to travel. So we wanted to be thorough on that one. That's why it took us 24 hours to come up with the statement. We really want you guys to start picking into what we are saying after we have come up hurriedly. So I'm thorough of what I've said. I have every evidence to substantiate what I've said.
All right, thank you very much. And I also just want to say for the record that the Aviation Authority will put out a press statement as well, immediately on the same day. And a few journalists then reached out to me as well for clarification, and I did provide a clarification to the journalists. And the Salon position on ECOWAS, Sierra Leone an active participating member of ECOWAS, and the ECOWAS position is consistent with the position. So any position, the ECOWAS position was unanimously taken at a meeting that Sierra Leone was present. Even if we were not, as always, consistent as a member of ECOWAS, we abide by the decisions and the conclusions of ECOWAS. And on this specific question, I think there's another question from Stephen as well about troops and all that. The ECOWAS position, which has been reported, and that ECOWAS, the go streets guns blazing, ECOWAS can employ other means, including mediation, and part of the strategy, now that the hope say the military coup leaders they currently will see reason based on their engagement, and they will not get to that position. But the government of Sierra Leone, a member of ECOWAS, and the government of Sierra Leone, they support and fully they in line with the ECOWAS position. So I hope that may make that clear. My sister, thank you for the question about the feeling about being young. I think with the experience in Salon is unprecedented. It's not just me, but presidentbio appoints, I think, and we never do the research now, probably the youngest, definitely the youngest cabinet in the history of Sierra Leone, or one of the youngest that Africa will ever see. We get a 2-year-old minister. We get definitely the highest number of under 40s in a cabinet ever. We just put the first cabinet orientation on the other day, and it was really refreshing to see so many young people across the table. And as I don't say before, not just young people that are tokenized, but young people with it because they are professionals, because they get a record of accomplishment. So first, I think the President, Julius Maada Bio, deserve credit for the boldness, the radicalism, if you like, for saying, let we entrust leadership in young people. But I don't make clear, say, waiting presidentbio should be the norm, not the exception. Because the demography of this country, these are the most inclusive cabinets in history. It's the most representative cabinet of the identity of Salon. Salon is a young country, and presidentbio appoints a cabinet where it reflects the identity of this country. So it's an honor for me and my colleagues for work and learn from other people in our cabinet. As I don't say, we approach her with humility, but also understanding the weight of this expectation. That a whole generation will look at me, and we need to step up to the challenge. But I can assure you, like how the Chief Minister can always say, like nobody, if you think, say, you underestimate me because we're young, you're mistaken. Because we're ready for the task, and we therefore do this job with every zeal when we get inside it. And we could do it because we understand that historic opportunity for making change for other young people. On the question of we engagement with other ministers, I think the Chief Minister already set the tone. That part of what he therefore used for George, even other cabinet ministers, now the engagement with the information sector. When I see me post the other day about me and the press secretary about how we therefore make accessibility, not just through this platform, but also informally and other engagement, and for Leona get access to the principles in government. And all I would say to Leona and the media that give me a chance. Even this is not yet how we want it to be. We want to make it even better. But just give me a chance. Just allow me to spend some time, and we will get it right. I want to do justice because I've asked other people for right questions. So I need Stephen in questioning first, and then I'll open for the other question. Did they ask finance with the IMF conditionalities that were attached to the influx of money? And for the security sector, they ask why we not call the recently arrested people, they will not refer to them as stupid or terrorists, as previous protesters were. And obviously the question about the statement on Niger, I feel like I've answered that anyway. And then they ask the security whether troops are being readied under the ECOWAS directive, and if any group will apply for peaceful protests as well in August, and not for UAIG. But so we hold on to the question and then take maybe a few more. Dixon.
Yes, Johannes Dixon. The report was sometimes. I guess a couple of questions then. First, I want to begin with Madam Adams of the Women's Forum Network. You seem for being very, very defensive of government towards you, people the way woman. And you don't get them concerned about, because some of the journalists they don't do no market spaces. You know, in your statement, you don't even advise government for like build sober market structure for them people to be. You just eat on them. So waiting you go see in terms of daily rights for sale as Sierra Leone on a daily with them. And then Mr. Minister, you talk about the stairs in a new building. I think you said I think part of.
Could me correct?
You say part of the problem. So I think I live study about 3 years now.
5 years, 3. What of 5 years? 5 years.
Young people.
Oh, 5
You
years.
cannot just be
5 years.
saying because of this, get them yourself and say, challenges and this. I think that's one of the challenges. They will need for, I think, amendment to another line ministry, the Ministry of Works, for ensure savings. Over 3 years, it's really tough. And then question for the Minister of Finance. The Minister of Finance talked about the minimum alternate tax. Most business houses, they don't raise question about. Say not good for them, and some they even close. And I don't see it talk about expenditure rationalization, because when things difficult in any government, you talk about expenditure rationalization. I just go through some things them about just expenditure on traveling in a government for the past 4 years is over 180 billion. You get presidential warranty. I don't want to go into that. Another expenses to the president, huge one. I want to go cut some of them things and leave. Not just that the poor man suffer $25 quickly to the security sector.
Listen, you want to come to press conference now?
No, sir, I just listen. The people never yet come there. And when they tell me, say, we don't arrest 14 people, we don't give me names of people and we don't arrest. Who are these people? And waiting and do, because the information we get from social media also now that most of the people they are arrested now, they come on at once, region in this country. So we want to get this clarification also, so that we can put the correct information out there.
All right, thank you. I'll take yes. Definitely biased, not to una get forget used to the fact that I'm a feminist minister, so. Yeah, you can press my video. All right, just talk loud. No.
I have a question for the Chief Minister who is not around, and concerning this big fight. So, we all know in our 5 year within our government. So, like, I want to ask when this big fight process starts and how it will achieve now this 5 years. And concerning the security purpose, concerning the people they arrest. So I want to know if they are found guilty or if they are found guilty, rather, waiting will be the punishment, or who's waiting them will do, waiting the law will do against them, and also if they're not found guilty, because as few of as we say their reputation they are fixed right now. So waiting also they will do concerning if they're not found guilty.
All right, I think so. We don't get a lot of questions right now, and we need to get some answers. Otherwise, we will get lost. Okay. So now we'll try to see how fast we do this round, and then we'll try to do one more round. I think I will start with the finance deputy minister, or just handle the economy issue. I think the questions just for remind you whether we are conditionalities, expenditure rationalization, from fixing. I think those are the two main questions that I have for you guys.
Okay, I want to tell my thank you for the questions. I just want to repeat the question so the one that we didn't also understand.
So waiting the question they asked, Minister been talk about IMF. They say where the year begin up to this point, IMF don't give me additional money. So the question they ask, normally where IMF they give me money, they ask, hand go, hand come. So the question they ask, waiting IMF asks for what we do for that money they wouldn't give me. Minister been explains the way the year begin, IMF can't tell where I do. And one thing where IMF been asked for what we do now the Finance Act for 2023. So IMF wouldn't come early this year and tell we say, when I get for increased revenue, or make when I do that, when I get for first look at the policy and then also look at the revenue administration. So IMF tell we say one of the things them way we got ask here and that we then see what we do now the minimum alternative tax. Where IMF say in order for me to able raise more money, when I get for implement that day. But where Parliament approve that act today, we not just grab and jump for begin for implement them. We begin engage with the public, and we still engage with the public, private sector for make sure say we agree. They go back and forth for make sure say they self comfortable. So for answer my brother in question, we not just joke. We make sure say they understand and we agree. So we go able to meet in the middle. So we not implement it as much as IMF don't say we go do one, but we not do it. Go want to make sure say everybody comfortable. The expenses where they talk about, Minister in talk say as when they increase revenue, we also they look at the expense side to make sure say we curtail. If we spend money to get beaucoup, they make sure say we cut down. So we also they look at the expense side because one for bringing the revenue, but we also want to make sure say we keep the expense at a level where we will get a balance. So I hope I have answered the question. Thank you. Someone fix it. I mean to the MP, you know that, right? Yes, I would. Thank you. First of all, I not just jump or defend government. For God's sake, me a woman. I got 2 boys. Wait, I don't want to happen to me to go they were born. I don't want to happen to that woman. When they go for a problem, you see what to go on now about your skills. When the guy then gets like a 2 person and marry, I call the setting. What did they go on to the Abacha woman there? What did happen? He explained. Now he said, say, in fact, the devil and three factions, market to me. And let me tell you something. In market to me, those on a table, they don't ever job na street. Now the one who not on a table, we got the pass like God, and they behave so. Yeah, yes. On the water, that's what I say. And then they behave so. And we never want that to continue. So I know what defend government I have. Government never need for the marketplace. So you want to tell me say in one media it's going to happen when I will not jump on a skit. They will say, no way. We never procedures. We never follow us. So some of this is there. You might take this and to masters together. Thank you.
Well, on the question of why we not refer to them, the only investigate as coupists or terrorists. For me, coupists and terrorists, they know more. What they do is a subversion authority. Subversion. I mean, what I say as subversion will investigate. When you undermine power or authority of legally consistent body like government, and that's subversion. So if you want to call them coupists, you want to call them terrorists, but what they do the bottom line. So bad. So on the question of application for permission for protest, nobody, as far as all this moment I talk, nobody applied for permission for protest. And this time around, as the security sector, will not allow any faceless protest. It's not possible. So I said, the law declares now you want to protest rights. You write to me, I invite you for an ethical interview, we'll conduct them, you tell me how you want pass. From Okon to Fuberu to this, that, we map the routes so that we will allow other road users for use the road uninterrupted. If that goes at the end, you take responsibility. If it goes bad, you are responsible. So you have to go through all of that before you can give him permission to protest. Then on the issue of calling names and what did they do, you don't be able to be patient with me. The first information we give on the 31st, we say we follow some passive activity. At this time we can, the second time we can, we tell our numbers who they investigate and numbers who they look for. So the next time we are coming to you, we are going to give you names. Don't worry, you have to settle the questions. Then on the issue of the punishment where they will get, the laws are clear. We are investigators, I know they prescribe punishment. But the laws are clear, the law prescribes this punishment for this offense. So you have to wait for that time.
Thank you very much. Well, if you don't blame, without telling the people who think say, why is it quiet? Well, he's the sheriff in town and in the country. And Mr. said that he considers me at the part of him. We don't consider it's small, I just embarrass today, but we don't consider the whole country. So that's why we allow him to speak normally, because he's in charge of the internal security. In the look inwards, then when they look outwards. But more of one, he complements the effort through what we call now in this country, although MAPI, military to civil power, and he's the civil power. But coming to ECOWAS, the ECOWAS get to take ECOWAS Standby Force, where they don't develop. As Mr. Minister said, Sierra Leone are part of ECOWAS active member. We belong, before now, we don't pledge what we call a company for that ECOWAS Standby Force. It's still active, the pledge is still active. But for if anything we get for go inside, that's you get for at the highest level, the issue of making the body. Of course, we all know the president and parliament. I don't get the authority for say that they go to Nigeria or anywhere tomorrow, pass again, clear directive from the highest level. Thank you.
No, I just want to make small comment to Dixie way he asked if they don't hear it from the traders them. In fact, government don't meet with the traders them on 2 occasions now. In fact, we even get meeting with traders them last week. Now the Ministry of Trade and Industry, we get the Ministry of Transport back with me. And look at all the options that we did for the Makituma them and waiting government be able to. You know, this are care in government. This are government will not say people that get livelihood and that. So therefore, we consider with them as I talk to them now for arrange an agreement to them for do. We get from members say city council now responsible for the market them. And I take dues from the market woman them. So part of that meeting the last week with the Ministry of Trade, city council we did for say all the existing markets already, how we can able to repair them, make them fine for many market women and back go beside it. So government don't hear it from them, we engage with them because we are carrying a risk in government. I just want to say additional.
Thank you. I think Dixie also asked a question about the lifts. Now you building and all, forget that. As I say, we try to be a transparent and responsive government. Look, I mentioned accessibility. Nobody know one thing I building where the systems are not fully function. We're very aware of that. The Chief Minister just points out, say, we listen and we take proactive steps there. For the purpose of this press conference, let's say I allude to the fact that we know say in the engagements with the press, we think about everything. How do we make this as accessible as possible? Maybe we'll focus on that. And one way we would think is, okay, maybe we'll come middle of town, let's see if foreign affairs, if other suitable building in there, we get accessibility functions. That means that the thinking in cabinet, the thinking in government is evolving, is changing. Now, on the specific question of the Ministry of Works and Rebuilding, I promise to say I will talk to the minister and I will bring Ankaya as well. But we say we did the advocates for letting the building be fixed. So we deal to now on that side. We'll take a final round of questions because I also want to stick with the time. 1, 2, 3, like that. Yes.
Mohammed Konenari name, and the active station manager for Sky. Minister of Finance, the SDI, they get specific budgets, but then they're not too clear and it's supplementary budget. So one from where on the SDI, waiting basically.
What's the SDI?
Special dwelling rights.
Okay. Not
special dwelling rights.
Yeah, okay. Perfect. Thank you. Yes.
And secondly, today in Liberia, with the arrest of Mohammed when I say there was a small confrontation with journalists, the Salon military and journalists in Liberia. So how are we able to resolve that? And when the extradition of
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. Yes. Go ahead. Just hold on. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry to say.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I read for more times. I'm a question to go to the leader for women. Now you say the woman and the market woman the way you sit down, way they inside the market, where they protest. And the one the way they pass. You know, see I see you statement discriminatory.
Okay.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, please.
Yes. Now to the IG. Now to the IG.
Yes.
You don't show me security, we safe, of course, we safe today, I will say. We'll get a situation in Sierra Leone, we'll get 11 year agreement warners and the country. When a corporate, now you mastermind that. Now, you say about some military personnel when a middle level, they on the run, and other police personnel. You know, see, I say, they pose serious security threat to the country.
Thank you.
Yeah. Abdulrahman, this question will go for the press secretary, Mr. Jamiro. Much as I don't know you for over the years, I know your disposition. You're surprised for seeing a press publication today that you don't begin act differently in the State House. What is going on that people don't know? I will reference you the Forum newspaper. That you all begin a muscle with that place.
Okay, then I final set of questions here. I want for read the additional questions that we don't get through the system we design for introduce. Julius Maguna asked if it's possible for extradite Sierra Leoneans who they live outside of Africa if the inquiry implicates them. Somebody who is saying anonymous, they ask, waiting at the threat assessment before and after the recent detection of subversive activities involving the military and police personnel. And then he feels that the same person he asks, he says subversive activities could be subjected to many different interpretations. If you could be a little bit more concise, split the said activities to a coup d'etat. All right, so we got a few questions. I think we will focus with the security sector and then we will cancel.
There's one confrontation between journalists and Sierra Leone military in Liberia. You said? Yeah. Liberia. I don't know. I don't know. We don't get. I'm not sure. I don't know where you got that. I'm not sure.
Maybe last, I'm not watching the committees. To get protocol Interpol now 151, 52 countries because of Interpol. If you now, in other country, you cause trouble now, Salon for example, we just work with partners. That's what we did. We worked with partners on that side through the NCD, and we were able to pick up whatever we want to pick up. So this is a question of Salon Sugar, they will not sit down with that, very interested and such. And of course, they are already on the run as far as we are concerned. They don't pose any threat to what you are doing. They don't, because they are on the run already. They don't. If they are man enough, they should come and fight, but they are on the run, so they don't pose any threat to us. Then on the issue of extradition, no matter who side they, as long as that country where they are part of Interpol community, we'll get it. All we need to do is just develop the case history. Send out to Interpol, we've done that severally, and we get very good relationship with Guinea, Liberia, with immediate neighbors. Recently, or sometime last year, when I was there for crime services, people that commit offense to Nigeria, 3 of them, they were Americans, who catch them as we send them go back. So there was no half about that. So that understanding is there, it's very clear. So on the question of threat, before this time or before the subversions we are investigating, for us, threat is not constant. We keep assessing threat on a 3-month basis. Threat changes depending on the changes in the population dynamics and the circumstances. So it is not fixed. As far as we are concerned, there was no threat until we picked out one up, and as of now, there is no threat to everyone that's happening in this country. So for any company on the run, visiting our threat, we are not worried about that. And of course, for say subversion, about subversion, when you go to the Oxford Dictionary, they say that we undermine authority or power, that is subversion. But when we don't know for investigate, we submit the file to the law officers department for perusal and legal advice. They will tell us, well, we are charged for this, we are charged for this. So we'll wait for that time. Thank you.
Question on the SDR.
Thank you for that question. So I just want to understand the question. I think the question really got to ask. The SDR money come, seen at the supplementary budget, how is Shiba? Yeah, so I just want to make, again, SDR get for do with the IMF, so I guess today we never go IMF question in there. So, the money they come, for me they say, okay, that money they come, you get for buy bottled water. The money they come, they put them into one basket, whether not domestic revenue or whether not support from IMF or they put them inside one basket. So all they do is supplementary budget. We just exchange and say that money that this they go for water, that this they go for camera, that this they go for that. So they come and say earmarked for this. So I hope that they come clear. Otherwise, we'll get a bilateral to make I explain them better. But the money they go inside one basket and then we shape them based on needs for the government and priority for the government. Thank you.
Perfect. Just very briefly on this question about the market market.
You say the market money. But not just grab and talk. They just find a cool society, the winner of the office. We call the podium. They just find a cool journalist, the winner of the office. They got the past
Very emotional.
Alright, I think there was one final question for the order when I distinguished question for His Excellency the President. So let me just respond very briefly and then we'll go.
Thank you very much. Abdurrahman. Yes. You say forum, say why don't go state house at the Muslim?
No, I did not say that. I'm only reiterating what the forum said about this morning.
That is what he said.
So I believe say power or money not to change people. People change because it was first in their character. Maybe when they can get money now, they get power and change. I don't need information, foreign affairs now go back to information. And nothing say any Sierra Leonean don't ever say Solomon Jamil Mosul. Maybe if anybody feels Mosul, something that below it just makes salt and decide for contract. So in the work environment, so I did out to be colleague, Tanu Jalo is here, and I get fantastic colleagues who I work with, my Clara, other players. In the environment we did, it's about the presidency. And like when my brother Cherno say, we have to deliver, and we'll not get any excuses. Thank you.
On that very, very high note, I want to take this opportunity to tell you all plenty thank you. I hope say when I see this, I log your attention please. Abdulrahman. that we just done. I hope say we see this as a beginning of a long set of conversations. I want to particularly appreciate the leaders of the security forces within IAM, Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Labaon, the Inspector General of Police, William Fayaselu, we distinguished Chief Minister, we know with me now, but we Chris will be present, Dr. David Moinina Senge, we Minister of Finance, we Mr. I don't correct me say also Doctor, and Mr. Sheku Fatimandi Bangura, and in Deputy, Madam Jennifer Bangura, and with Sister we come Civil Society from the Women's Forum, Sally Adams. Thank you to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. We at such short notice, they agreed for host week. But the biggest thank you, Nini, now Una, the journalists them. We appreciate Una carry we. You want to carry we live, we don't follow we tell Una plenty thank you. We therefore send Una information for feedback, how we will make this even better. We want to continue this conversation with Una. And we tell you how many things you will join me.
Kambulem, that's so the press conference from the Ministry of Information and Civic Education.